got an A.
He did get an A. Congratulations, Casey. The first A of his entire life.
You know what? That whole scene of Jen, I'm going to bring it up again, of her going off on Abby.
Oh, yes.
I want to use that and like quote it for the Abby Morgan in my life. I want to like, you're pathetic. I mean, because how pathetic can you be as someone double our age running around, running their mouth, and like harassing people? The thought that we would be in our 50s talking about how someone half our age doesn't do their job at the same time that you're not doing your job.
Right. Look in the mirror is all I got to say to that.
Okay, well, you look in the mirror and you might see Abby Morgan. That's what you might see. If Abby had grown up, I think this is what she would be like.
Well, I hope that when Abby grew up, she became a better person. Some people don't become their best versions of themselves. And I'm quoting something that my family would laugh at.
I wonder if any of our listeners or viewers know what's going to happen.
And we don't mean
and
the episode.
You don't know what's going to happen in the episodes to come. Welcome to Press Play again. Two roommates, one remote, the rewatch podcast where we dive back into the shows and movies we couldn't stop talking about in college, and probably still can't. We're your hosts, Anna and Megan, two roommates with one remote, ready to laugh, debate, maybe get a little too nostalgic as we revisit the classics and discover a few new favorites along the way. So grab your popcorn, press play, and hang out with us as we rewind it all, episode by episode, movie by movie.
So what was your mood going into this? Okay, yeah, I guess I need to.
Going into it, I knew what was coming.
Good for you. The synopsis for episode 11. Abby and Chris find an anonymous love note at school and set out to find out who wrote it. Abby figures out that the author and intended recipient apparently had sex the night before, and in her true devious fashion, she sets out to expose the affair. The three suspected couples are Dawson and Jen, Joey and Jack, and Andy and Pacey. Abby and Chris work from clues about Joey's night of sketching after discovering her drawings of a nude Jack, while angry Dawson sets out to find Joey and Jack, while Pacey becomes distant towards Andy after their romantic dinner. And in a true Gothic-themed mystery novel backdrop, complete with a thunderstorm and lightning, Abby and Chris gather all six suspects into a classroom after hours to bring out the author and which couple, if any, went all the way. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
This one was on January 20th, 1999. It has a popularity rating of 89 out of 128.
I believe it.
You did not like this one.
I'm not saying that. Keep going.
And a user rating of 31 out of 128. Okay, so I knew what the episode was, so it's hard for me to... I was excited because I do like this episode. But I like the whole thing. Like, I just like the episode. So I was excited going into it. Coming out of it, I'm ready to talk about it. The next couple episodes have me kind of like, I'm ready to get through those. Yeah. So I'm kind of right now. But I'm ready to talk about this one. Except I have a feeling I'm not going to like what you say.
I don't think it's that you're not going to like what I say. I mean, I've already kind of said it before we started. When I realized that I had misread a few cues, it changed a little bit of how I saw and read this episode.
Yeah.
That in a way, I'm not saying it was a letdown, but it just kind of took something away from me.
Okay.
But at least I was right about my 2 predictions that I didn't really think that either of the other 2 couples went through. So I didn't think that Jack and Din did. I didn't think that. And hang on, I meant to say I didn't think that Dawson and Jen did it, and I didn't think that Jack and Joey did it. I was concerned about how far, like I said, that Jen was going to push Dawson. We left off with the impression that Pacey and Andy did not, but we found out that they did.
The misdirect of this episode was good. Like, there were so many misdirects, even to the point where we get to only 6 minutes left in the episode and you had misread the whole thing.
Correct.
Even knowing what came out, you're still going,
well, see, and I told you I can't remember any of this from the last time we watched it until I remember the closing scene.
Well, it is, I don't know if it's just iconic. I say the word iconic a lot. It may not be iconic to anybody else. No, but Dawson holding the jacket over her when they're walking in the rain, I see that picture everywhere. It's memes. It's okay. I see it everywhere, and like, to me, I know that is season 2.
Well, I saw that. Like, I didn't think of it when, earlier in the episode, they stand there, same place, and they wait out the rain. And I didn't think of it then, but like, when they come back to it at the end, I'm thinking, or at least I started to remember a little bit of that, wait a second, I think I know how this ends. And I was right about that, but I was not right about the Andy and Pacey thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, this episode really kind of gives me darker Breakfast Club vibes. Like, because it still has that tone of like this group of people, everybody together, but it's darker. Abby is the monster. She is literally a monster, and it's thundering and lightning, and it doesn't rain that often in Cape Side, so you know something's happening when it does. But it just gave me Breakfast Club vibes for some reason.
I could see
not
that.
As much as Detention, obviously, but it just was like a darker gothic style, like it said the synopsis. But we pick up this episode where we left off in the last episode, because it wasn't to be continued. And so Jack and Joey are coming out on her porch, and I mean, all the clues are pointing to,
and they want you to believe that it happened.
Absolutely.
That's
the point of it.
Jack is asking Joey, do you have any regrets?
Yes.
You've got Jen and Dawson, and he's ready to talk about it. And she's like, let's give it a 12 hours before we dissect this. And then you got Andy and Pacey outside the car,
who we just assumed, the other 2 we're led to believe at the end of the last one that they are. Pacey and Andy, it's the opposite. Yeah. We're led to believe that they don't.
Correct.
And then it's a flip in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't take the bait on Jack and Joey and Dawson and Jen.
No, but they did a really good job of making
I could see it.
Of trying to make you think that it was them. I mean, just little things here and there.
They made you suspicious.
They were all so awkward with each other.
Yes, they made it very suspicious.
Embarrassed of the night before, and
or just how awkward things can be after something has happened or gone further than you expected.
But it makes sense.
What do you do now?
For it to be awkward after it didn't happen either. So, I mean, all of it still makes sense for it to be the scenario we actually have.
Correct.
But they really, if you're watching it for the first time especially, I mean, if I was watching this in 1999, I would be on the edge of my seat. Like, because I would have never guessed that Pacey was the one that wrote the letter.
No, and I said Joey at first, like when Chris first finds it, I'm like, is that Joey's note? And then I started thinking, I don't think it is, because that would be the most obvious answer. And it crossed my mind, I think it could be Pacey's, and especially when we go to the first scene of him and Andy in the lunchroom together. That immediately, his lack of being able to talk, or just he's really not talking to her, he's kind of weird, lends to the fact that the note says that he's like, or whoever has written it is saying that they want to say these things, but they keep coming out wrong, so they're just going to write it. But I didn't think too much further into it, but I still read it like, or at least listened to the way it was read in the
we
context,
should not do this because it will change everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that we should continue to wait. But yet we find out it's because it actually took place, and before they do it again, they should wait.
Yeah. But Abby spends this entire episode because she needs to get her project for
because
English
she's going to fail.
And so she stumbles upon this mystery. It's who done it, so to speak.
Who screwed it?
Chris,
that's what she said.
Chris is going to help her. Chris Wolf. And it's not even for his project. You know what? No. His character, I'm so confused by him.
Same.
Because not sometimes, all the time he gives off the sleazy vibe. Yeah. But then sometimes he gives the vibe of like, he actually isn't a terrible guy.
Right.
He's just playing into the role that he is.
Or he just thinks that that's who he needs to be. So that's kind of the front he tries to put on.
Yeah, the election episode, you could tell, like, I think even some of the stuff that Abby was doing made him uncomfortable. He wanted no part of it, but instead of standing up to her and saying, we're not doing this, he just made the comment about, I'm going to go kiss some babes, you know? So it's like he just doesn't want to stand up to the wrong. But in this episode, we see a little bit of that. Like, he still has the gross comments about helping her because she's going to let him touch her in bad places. But then at the end, when she does not turn in the project, says no, she doesn't have it, after Jen ripped her a new one, camera cuts to Chris, and he's got this little smirk on his face, like he's proud that she made the decision not to humiliate them. Like, I don't understand him.
I don't either.
We're not going to because he's gone.
No, yeah, I know.
But no, he's still here because he's in Dawson's movie. I'm sorry. But anyways.
Well, right. But my point, too, is that you've got, I mean, here's the other conflicting pieces to his character. The way he can turn on genuine kind of good guy to act out the audition scene for Dawson's movie. And at the same time, he goes from, like, having this jock like, you know, personality or whatever that he's putting off with Jen, so that, you know, at one point he sleeps with her. Well, he's throwing himself at Abby, and she's like, ew, no, I don't want your diseases, you know, and like all this other stuff. And I'm just like, hold up, Abby's the one trying to throw herself at other people, and all of this just feels
it does feel
off
weird,
track,
because he doesn't even like talk to Jen like they
because
just 2 episodes ago they're partying every night together,
right? I mean, that's not, I won't, for what it's worth, it wasn't me, but I witnessed some things in high school that, you know, that could track.
but it just feels kind of weird.
No, all of it,
because he's still somehow inside this group,
and in its own way, they're the fourth couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whether they're actually a couple or not, they're the fourth couple. And, you know, she's instigating all of this in the vein of saying, this will be my mystery project, you know. And no, she ultimately does not turn it in on some air of integrity. But we know she possesses none, truthfully.
No. Jen even says, I feel bad. If you're like this at 16, I feel
15.
bad. Yeah, I feel bad for what you're going to grow up to be.
Yes. You disgust me.
Yeah.
You're pathetic. I mean, I won't
that for me is
my
the MVP moment.
Yes,
that's it.
MVP moment of the whole episode is Jen.
Yes. Even her standing up and saying, that's not the truth, to Dawson and Joey. I liked that. Because they're in the moment and they're yelling at each other and they forget that there's other people around. But she stands up and is like, I am not going to be a pawn in this game. And I like that. Even though she's had her moments of making him her pawn. Yeah. And she pushed him to this, and she was fine with him writing the scene in his movie script.
Oh, of course.
Okay, I'm torn, because it could be interpreted as her just standing up because she doesn't want to play this game, or she's standing up and stopping it because she's not the center of the attention at this moment.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a genuine standing up for the truth.
But she's hurt that she's not the center of attention.
Right.
Or his attention.
It's
not
the
just
reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. And the
After
fact
all
that Abby is taking it way too far and trying to exploit it and on camera. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let's at least acknowledge the repercussions of what would have come from if this had been aired in class. We know that's not going to happen. But if it had, and it's not true, the rumor mill is already a disaster as it is, okay? Mm-hmm. Which is how this episode tries to gain its momentum anyway. Pitting everybody against each other in a way to try to get somebody to tell the truth or let the cat out of the bag somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Chris even makes the comment, I'm starting to think they all just did it.
Right. It could be any of them or all of them.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and really the way the whole episode is set up, it really could have been, honestly, I think I remember, and it took me a few minutes into the episode before I even honestly remembered it was Pacey that writes it, because every single time I watch it, I think it's Andy. I don't know why. I can watch it however many times and my brain does not track that it's Pacey that writes it until we're well into it, and I think, oh, it's Andy, and then I'm like, wait, no, that's not how this episode goes.
I'm sorry, but for it to say that they're having a hard time saying it, Andy has no trouble with words.
Yeah.
So, to me personally, I never suspected Andy.
Well, I only did because I knew it was about them. I knew they were the couple that actually had sex.
Okay.
But you didn't even realize that part, so never mind.
No.
But
they were not on my radar at all, because I was under the angelic impression that they left and it didn't take place.
Yeah. They do a good job of keeping you under that impression, because even though she's saying, like, last night was so great and so magical and you were such a gentleman, that could be just because of the way he handled everything.
Yes, but I made a note that she is very, very well coming on way too strong.
She is, but you still didn't even think they had sex.
It made me, there was a thought that crossed my mind, but I was like, they didn't. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, okay, girl is trying too hard because they didn't.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yep. Like, she's almost trying, the impression I took from it was that she's playing this up in a way that she almost thinks that he backed out because he doesn't think she's ready.
Yeah.
So she's almost trying to show too hard that yes.
So what about when Abby tells her that he was disappointed? Just disappointed because she didn't go through with it? Is that how you took that?
Well, I don't know why that didn't fully register in that direction, but I took it, I guess, as yes, that or just in general that overall she's inexperienced compared to what
he's used to.
Don't say what he's used to, but what he's had previously.
The only thing he's had, so he's used to that. Yes, that's all he's had.
I don't know that it was long enough to call it used to, though.
It's the only experience he can compare it to.
Correct. But at the end of the day, it does explain why she was so deeply hurt by that thought and notion. But at the same time, let's also acknowledge that Andy's had a few moments here of feeling things a little too deeply at times, which that's not something to feel too deeply about. Like that's legit. But it really does make, that's why when it clicked and I was like, you'd already paused or something. I don't know. I was like, hold the pause. I got to make a note. But I also had to process that I had watched the whole episode pretty much wrong.
With the wrong viewpoint. So, okay, when Pacey...
I did know that he got an A. I knew that when he was acting funny about his grade, it was not because he failed.
I forgot all about the A. Because when he's trying to keep the note... In my mind, even just now, I was like, oh, he doesn't know he lost his note and he thinks that it's in that stack and he doesn't want her to see it. That's where my brain went. I didn't even think, I forgot all about the A until he got in the car and pulled out the paper and I was like, oh, yeah. But him, the whole when he chases her down, oh my gosh, I compare lots of TV shows, but when he chases her down in the rain and goes to the car, it gave me the whole Nathan and Haley outside of her house after the whole picture situation.
Yes.
Same scenario. But, and I love it, but
But it was sweet.
It was.
It left me feeling some type of way, though. And
I don't know that would... I just don't know.
About what?
About his reasoning behind it all.
I need you to
He's
elaborate
just
a little bit.
scared of what this...
Okay, to me, the way I took that, after I'd had a moment to redigest the episode, was that, I could see the boy would be scared, all right? She has literally rocked his world in a way that everything has completely changed. He is wanting to be the better guy. He is wanting to get good grades and actually study. He's actually been successful at making an A for the first time in his life, and the literal only person he can thank for that is her, who he's also, not his first time, but was her first time. After he said he wanted to be the good guy, I'm not saying that he's conflicted about that, although you could raise that question, but personally, I think that there's a lot of weight sinking in as he's realizing that there's now a new expectation. That if he was capable of making such a good grade, now he needs to continue that.
Mm-hmm.
They've now crossed this line. He's wanting to say we need to pump the brakes, but there is an expectation of crossing that line again at some point.
But he only wants to pump the brakes because he's scared.
Right.
Not because he doesn't want to continue.
Correct. That's clear.
I wonder too if there is a notion of like just how connected they are to each other at this point.
First love, like we said.
Yeah, he only has her to thank for his grades.
Yeah.
Now they have this soul connection.
Right.
They have a physical connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary when you realize, and I don't think that either one of them are realizing, kind of like Joey had that realization of like, you're all I have. I don't think that Pacey and Andy have that, but that's essentially what it is at this point. He's like, this is, he doesn't say it this way, but I wonder if part of that is like a part of his fear comes from that deep down without fully understanding.
Right. I think it's some other version of that, because there are other people in their lives. It's not a Joey and Dawson, you're all that I have, to that extreme. But he ends up admitting to her that he is falling hopelessly in love with her. And I think that is also the other piece to what scares him the most, because he's never experienced love. Let's at least acknowledge the fact that home life doesn't sound very loving.
No.
So literally he is experiencing love for the first time for real in his life. There's a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah. And there is a layer of, when you are that connected to somebody, that in love with somebody, and their age plays a role in this of like how to navigate and handle this, obviously. But when you're that in love and together with someone like that, the fear of like hurting each other, because he probably has some fear that he's going to be the one to hurt her,
or that there's some fear of disappointing the other.
Yeah. It's never going to cross his mind. And I think that he could be afraid that she could hurt him, but I don't think it's the same kind of hurt that he thinks that he could hurt her with.
Right. I do think, but again, that goes back to, there's gears shifting here. There's a lot of realignment taking place in his life, and how much she has changed his life, and he's realizing it.
The scene in the car with Pacey and Andy, I thought his performance was great. I think they gave him more depth in this season. They gave him more meat to work with in this season. And so his performance, he's stepping up to the plate. He has more,
he's being more vulnerable.
He is well-rounded. It's not just the goofy sidekick, which I know we have said. He is vulnerable. He is a leader. He is compassionate. He thinks of other people before himself. Every time he thinks of other people above himself. And even like he doesn't fly off the handle, like in the classroom with Abby. Oh my gosh, I can't stand her. But when Andy is so hurt when she realizes that he's the one that wrote the letter, and I did like that he didn't like jump up and try to explain himself right there.
Right.
I mean, this whole group of people, it would be my first instinct, I think, to defend myself. So that, I mean, because.
Well, I mean, furthermore, let's back up and go to the book fair where she brings it up to him at that point that she's completely hurt. And he's like, well, if you believe that, then off he goes because of what Abby Morgan has said to her about, you know, that she didn't live up to whatever or it was a disappointment to him. And, you know.
That lends to what he says at the end, though, of like how deeply he's in love with her and just how much she's showing him who he can be, the good in him, what his potential is. And so when in that scene beforehand where he looks at her and thinks in that moment that she sees like that he has that in him to do that and to go around and say that, for him to think this person who only sees the good in me and has pulled out the good and the potential in me to be better, but now she sees this. It's like that episode earlier in season 1 where it happened with him and Dawson, when he looks at Dawson and goes, if you believe that, it's the same thing where it's like, you believe this about me, then we have nothing, then we're done. We have nothing else to talk about. And that hurts whenever you see somebody who has always seen good, even when other people see bad.
Angle, just acknowledge what's in this episode and how it ends. The person that he is falling hopelessly in love with is straight up bashing him and angry.
If we get into her mindset, she has every right to be. Now, because all she hears, she has like this insecurity. Clearly. And this was her first time. He does have experience. So when somebody is coming to her to say all these things that she doesn't think anybody else should know about.
Right. The only other person that was there was him.
Exactly. It would be the same conclusion that I would go to, honestly.
Right. At the same time, I think about last episode and how easily triggered by Abby she was then. It's like, okay, girl, take a step back and realize the source that it's coming from. We've got enough nods back to the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago, excuse me, that literally, but at the same time, it's that quick gut reaction.
You're hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediate instinct of like, you go into protective mode of like, I don't know what you're talking about, or I don't know where you got that information from, and then turning around and being like, what are you talking about and to who?
And it adds to the hurt. It adds to your hurt when it's somebody that you are also falling in love with.
Correct.
And you thought that would not be able to hurt you like this because you just the night before shared this moment together. And now he is seemingly hurting you in the worst way.
Yeah, and he's barely talking to you.
Yes.
And things are weird. And that's part of where I had to go back and be like, wait, I need to pause for a second. This is how he's acting.
Yeah. So I get why she reacts the way she does.
I had to take a minute and pause and kind of feel for her in a way, you know?
Yeah.
But he comes clean.
He does. But in the classroom, when she walks out and he just closes his eyes and shakes his head, I tell Joshua Jackson, I don't know that I can continue to say anything great about him. It is just that every choice he makes, every subtle, and I know, gosh, this is so off track. Let me say what I was going to say about that scene first, and then I'll get into the acting of it all. When he stands up and Jack stands up and he says, it's not what is it? It's not what you think, or it's not what
that's not how it is, or something like that. Or it's not like that. Well, I think personally, his moment of like eyes closed, head kind of hung, there's almost, at least the way I read the scene, there's almost a conflicting moment internally for him of like, again, this is how I perceived it. It's like old Pacey versus what's going on with new Pacey, if you will. I mean, he's getting up to go after her, but there's been character previously, like season 1, he might not have gotten up and gone after her.
Yeah, but he loves her.
I know that, but that's my point. Like, there, to me, there was this moment of like, she thinks this about me, old me versus like the new me. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you follow me at all?
So, like, is it worth even going after if she believes this about me?
Maybe not even that deep, but just this. I just felt this moment of internal, like, warring of just, I'm better than this, and she's, this is the way this is playing out, but like, it almost feels like a what's the word I'm looking for, where it's like it's an old moment has come back, or like I'm trying to find my words and I'm sucking at this right now, but just it's almost like some of the old tendencies or the old crap that used to come up in his life. It's almost like a moment like that, but this is a different Pacey.
Yeah. Well, I even said that about a scene with Dawson, where it felt like the Dawson from season 1, the way he was reacting to Joey. It did not feel like how we've seen him so far in this season.
I'm struggling really hard to put into words. It's just,
I didn't get it, but I understand what you're saying, though. I just didn't get it when I watched it, but I understand.
Well, I feel like it even translates into the moment in the car where he, hops in and he's like putting himself there. She's telling him to get out, and he is not. He is sitting there, sitting down to tell her, this is what's up. Like, it looks like this, but that's not true. I'm scared, and this is what you're seeing of me because of the fact that I'm scared, and basically he's just trying to process.
And that's the hard thing to do. The easy thing would have just been, it would have been hurt. It would have hurt, but the easy thing would have been to just, fine, that's what she thinks, just let it. I can't. It would hurt too bad. I don't want to be that vulnerable. I don't want to have to explain it. We're just gonna move on.
Right. And I think that in some old version of Pacey, that if he didn't have the feelings that he actually has for her, and if he didn't actually care at all, he wouldn't have dealt with it.
But I don't know that there is any universe where Pacey Witter doesn't care about people. Because even season 1,
right,
in his goofiness and in his just being the town clown, and I think that even then, because even when he was having whatever with Tamara, we saw tendencies of him and characteristics that were good, that were kind, that were protective, that were compassionate, that was looking out for other people.
I'm not necessarily meaning it in that kind of doesn't care. I'm meaning it more in just like not caring enough to expend the energy to go after fixing it. Because I mean, there was plenty of times, and especially season 1, where grades are bad, crap is happening, and he's just like, he's still caring about people around him, yes, but just, I don't care.
Because it's too hard to change.
Yeah, correct. That's and the internal.
It was too hard for him to change on his own. It took her coming into his life and kind of holding him accountable and saying, no, we're doing this.
Yes.
You are going to change. So
that's what I am trying to get at.
I love them. But and okay, the choice went, I don't know. I'm not an actor. I wish I was. And every project is different. I like to listen to these different podcasts, especially the companion ones where they're currently still airing and it's just going alongside of it, because they talk to them and a lot of questions will be like, was that on the page? What were you feeling when you read the script? How did you play this? How did you figure out how to play that for your character? And like, what feelings were you supposed to have in that moment? And I just really wonder a lot of things from 1999 to 1998 of what their scripts looked like and like what, when they read it, I feel like at this point, most of them know their character enough to know what they would do and wouldn't do and how they would feel as that character. And so just when like they got this script and he read that scene of them in the classroom and Andy walked, I just wonder what it looked like on page versus how it came out across on camera.
I get that.
I wonder the behind the scenes of it like that, because I just think that Joshua Jackson is stunning in every sense of the word.
Yes.
He is by far my biggest crush. Have you heard of the show Paradise?
I don't know.
So, anyways, I'm not going to try to explain it all to you, but anyways, I was listening to its companion podcast today, and the main actor, you know the show This Is Us? Okay, Randall.
I think I do. This Is Us. That sounds familiar.
It's the 3 kids, and it's like the back and the present day, and with Mandy Moore in it. It's on Hulu, I think. I mean, it's over now.
I think I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
Okay, so the 3 that Mandy Moore and Milo, they play a couple, and they have triplets. Well, one of the triplets dies in childbirth. They adopt a black child. So they have 2 white children, 1 black, but they still, like, they're twins. He was born on the exact same day. So, like, they're triplets. I said twins. They're triplets. That's the basis of the whole show. Anyways, the son, the black son, he's the because that show is like, it shows them when they're kids, it shows them when they're adults, it goes back and forth. The adult version of that son is played by an actor named Sterling K. Brown. He is also in Paradise. That's where I'm tying it in. Okay. Today I was listening to the podcast. His wife in real life is the one who's hosting the podcast.
Cool.
And so she says, I don't remember how it came up, but she said, my husband, Sterling, he has a list of people that he loves so much that he would literally kick me over a cliff for. One of which, whether it's to act with or whatever, one of which is Meryl Streep, Brad Pitt, and Joshua Jackson. She said that he was obsessed with Dawson's Creek. He would sing the song. He would watch it every week. He had to see what was happening with Joey and Pacey. And I watched that today and I was just like, me too. Me too, Sterling. Joshua Jackson is my whole list. It's just him. That's it. I want to hug him. I want to talk to him. I want to tell him he's phenomenal.
Sure.
I want to hold his hand. I want to pick his brain about all of his projects. He's got a couple more coming up, so I will be watching. But anyways, I just think that he has hit his stride in this season, and everything that he's doing, I love. I love it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Dawson rewrites his story for the movie.
Yeah.
And includes a sex scene after all.
Yep.
Which is also supposed to lend to our suspicions as to what took place between him and Jen. Because he tells her that he was inspired. Which, I won't lie, her face in plenty of scenes tells you they didn't. And especially when he makes the comment that, you know, when they're in the lunchroom, and she's basically asking him if he's okay. He's way too chipper, and she is not at all. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm completely fine. blah, 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 blah. We're still friends. And you can literally see the pain that inflicts when he says that. So it's like,
that word. Yeah.
We knew it wasn't them. I mean, I did wonder, did Joey's art project ever get turned in? Because
did she get it back? He gave it to Jack.
I can't remember if it's given back to her in the classroom when they all meet or not.
I don't think so.
But I mean, my thing is, did it ever get turned in? It got folded up into a square. So like, all right, you couldn't submit the first one because it was covered in chocolate milk. Yeah. Now you can you even submit this one and it's been folded up? Like, where's this been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that also goes back to when he's like, "Can I have it?" I don't know. It's just strange. And then the end of the episode with Joey and Dawson, they basically are telling each other that they're glad that each other didn't do it with the respective partners that could have been.
Yeah.
And that they miss each other.
Well, and honestly, I cringed when he first said, "I miss you," and she said it back. But then, the more then his line about, "I know we can't
bring back 15 years."
Yes, I really took it more. I mean, obviously, I know he still has feelings for her, so I'm not discounting that. But this scene felt more like he was saying, "I just miss my friend."
Yes.
Like, because they haven't really communicated or had
no interaction for real.
Yeah, and so I can see that was very believable. I miss my friend. We don't communicate. We don't know what's going on in each other's lives, and I want my friend back. And I do think that she misses that too. I think he misses it more.
Yeah, well,
because she has other things, and he doesn't necessarily. He does, but it's still attached to her.
Correct. I made a note that he begs for whatever little interaction she'll give him.
Yeah.
And, she's agreeing and saying, slowly, we can start trying to, reintegrate into each other's lives slowly. And then, that makes him immediately just elated.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do that.
No. And furthermore, he's like, well, it doesn't look like this rain's going to let up. I think we make a run for it. And she's like, no, I think we walk. Which is, again, her bringing him back to the slowly thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool parallel there.
It is, but I do, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do appreciate, I forgot where I made the note that, when Jack and Jen are having their conversation and he's like, I really don't like playing second string. And she's like, I totally get that.
Oh, that scene was the beginning of Jack and Jen.
I know. I and you can feel it.
You can. I mean, when they're looking at each other, it was the beginning of that
friendship. He's telling her how he just wishes he could be that open and that honest, and you can tell he's got stuff he needs to let out.
Yes.
He ain't there yet, but
yes, it's coming.
It is.
It's coming quick.
And if Jen could, all I could think was when I'm watching the final scenes, if Jen could have seen the look on Dawson's face at just the crumbs he's begging Joey for, and he's that excited.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Girl would leave him alone.
I don't know that she would. I'm telling you, I think that she does have feelings for him, but I still think it is a game and she just can't have him, so she's gonna keep trying.
Yes, but I feel like it would put I really think it put a hitch in some of that if she could see the difference.
I mean, how can you not already? He wrote an entire movie script about her.
I know, but it's some kind of delusion that she can overlook if she thinks that there's still some level of hope. And again, that goes back to the whole, girls are so guilty of this. We create our own backstories. We excuse things by rationalizing everything in our own heads. That it literally has nothing to do with reality. I mean, it can, but most of the time it doesn't. So I'm just saying, I think that if she literally could see that from an outsider's perspective,
yeah,
I really think it would put a hitch in some things.
She just needs a new friend, so
she's about to get one.
I know. Thanks for the little work.
Praise God.
What rating do you give this one?
I was conflicted, but I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I I wasn't so let down to take something away from it, but I didn't end this like, woo!
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this episode was heavy. I went into it just like chomping at the bit. I got to remember how this ends, but again, I watched it and realized at the end that I had watched it wrong on some level for the
6 is still very high for you.
It
is. That's still good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 7.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I just liked all the Mr. Eggs. I got it was more so not the storyline. It was more so
convincing acting.
It was well done. I mean, all the different misdirects of even me watching it, I've seen it and I'm still going, I see how that we think that it could be them, or we could and then there's even more misdirects even when we know it wasn't them. It's like, but okay, but what happened then? Like, so there's I think it was a well done episode overall.
Oh, sure.
There's still way too much Abby, so I just can't.
Yeah, I'm ready for her to go
with it.
Away.
Pacey and Andy are always going to make it higher for me than it probably deserves. Or Pacey, because I'm going to be completely honest. I like what Andy adds to the show.
Sure.
But the character of Andy sometimes really gets on my nerves.
Same.
Because she's too much sometimes.
She is. She can be.
But she adds what's needed to the show.
Yeah, she's bringing out this whole deeper side of Pacey.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going 7. I thought about an 8, but I was like, I think about some of the other 8s I've given. I just can't.
I get that.
Do you want to spin?
Yeah.
What shall it be? Oh, do you want the 2 or the 10?
I'll take the 10.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't hate the episode.
Of the title.
Oh. All right, so the title is a quote from Pacey. You are the single most important being that ever graced my existence. It's a spoiler. Sex, She Wrote is one of the most fun, anxious, and exciting episodes from season 2. Monica Keena still...
That's who plays Abby.
Yeah, but I think their grammar's wrong. Stole the whole episode with her evil yet sweet performance. The way she sets things up and manipulates the whole crew is just beyond predictable in any teen show. I love how this episode, their grammar is terrible, focuses on sex.
Should be.
I'm trying. Focuses on sex, but not just physical, or not just the physical parts, also the emotional parts, which I think is left out in many other series. While watching, we feel curious as to who wrote the letter and why Pacey do that, and why Pacey does that. I love that towards the end how Pacey explains to Andy his carelessness. That literally makes no sense, but his carelessness he wrote on the letter and how the dialogues match the perfect situation. All right. We also see the beginning of Jack and Jen's friendship, how they tell each other their secret, and and last, the adorable relationship between Dawson and Joey. Bravo to the writer and director. A memorable episodes. It's a memorable episode.
I cannot stand the internet for that.
I'm so sorry. That was painful.
Sounds good. Someone disliked it.
Yeah.
Was it you?
No, but check your grammar, please.
Mesh the movie freak.
Mesh, do better.
Okay, so I'm going to read the 2.
Okay.
What? This is by Leanne.
Okay, Leanne.
Okay, Leanne said just stupid.
I wish I'd read this one. Keep going.
I see other reviews saying they were surprised Pacey wrote the letter, and I don't get why. It was so obvious, especially after the way he was talking in the last episode. And again, that Abby chick is so unnecessarily mean and nasty. It could be because I'm in my 30s watching this, and I no longer relate to teenagers, but it's hard to watch this show at times.
Okay.
Great.
I hear some of you, or some of what you're saying, but at the same time, a little harsh.
Stupid. That's the kind of review I need, though. That's the ones I want to read.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was so funny.
I'm sorry.
Just stupid.
The grammatical errors were distracting.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. If you loved hanging out with us, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, where you can watch this full video, and follow us on Spotify so you never miss a rewatch. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok for clips, behind-the-scenes moments, and all the nostalgia your heart can handle. Leave us a comment, rate the show, share the episode with a fellow roomie. It truly helps more than you know, and we love hearing from you. We'll be back every Tuesday and Thursday with more laughs, more nostalgia, and of course, more rewatches. Until then, keep the remote close, the memories closer, and always be kind, rewind, and press play again. Bye, roomies.
Bye. Roll the credits. Press play again. 2 roommates, 1 remote is fully DIY. Editing, us. Producing, also us. Recording, yep, still us. Posting it everywhere, shockingly, us again. 2 roommates, 1 remote, 0 team. So please clap accordingly. Thank you very much.